we'll give you just a millage rate overview. What it is a property tax rate that the city sets each year to fund services and community needs. And the things that it funds include police operations, park and recreation, senior services, community development, roadways, administration, including personnel and employee benefits, and other essential services. It is calculated based on the city's budget need and the total taxable property value, or net digest. How it's measured: a 1 mil is equal to $1 of tax for every $1,000 of a property's taxable value. And what might affect a millage rate includes sales tax revenues from the previous year, which can lower it, and rising costs and needs of the city, plus changes in property tax values could raise it. So this slide shows us how we arrive at our millage rate based on our needs. The millage rate is calculated in Georgia by starting with the tax digest, which each county compiles, and it's the total value of all taxable property in a jurisdiction after exemptions. This includes real estate, personal property, motor vehicles, and sometimes utilities. Let me go back. Okay, to determine the gross digest, the total assessed value based on 40% of the property's fair market value is required by Georgia law. For example, a home worth $200,000 has a taxable value of $80,000 before exemptions. After subtracting exemptions, you calculate the net tax digest, which is equal to the gross digest minus exemptions. This number represents the total taxable value the city or county can levy taxes on. Next, the city decides how much revenue is needed. The city determines their property tax need to fund their budget after accounting for your local option sales tax revenue, grants, and other fees. And then you apply the formula for the millage rate by multiplying the required property tax revenue divided by the net digest times 1,000. And mills are just a thousandth of a dollar, so 1 mil equals $1 of tax per $1,000 of taxable value of the property. So for Carroll County, the counties give the cities a what's called the PT 32.1, which gives a calculation of the reassessment value of existing property versus all new property added to the 2025 digest. And based on that formula, which you can see here, it gives us a rollback millage rate, once again provided by the county. And you must get to that number below to not have to advertise a percentage tax increase. For Carroll County, we are proposing a 2025 millage rate of 4.16. We would have had to roll it all the way back to 4.036 in order to avoid advertising a tax increase. For Haralson County, the rollback millage rate would be 0.756. Our 2025 proposal is 3.241 mils. On this slide, this is our notice and 5-year tax digest history of levy. As you can see, we are proposing to maintain the same millage rate for Carroll County as the previous years, which is 4.16 mills. For Haralson County, we are raising from 1.047 mills to 3.241 mills. And that would have actually been a decrease from the 2023, which was 3.977 mills. So once again, our proposed rate for Carroll County is to maintain at 4.16 mills. That's a 3.07% increase from the rollback rate of 4.036. We are proposing not to change the millage rate from the prior year, and just based on the city's needs, maintain the same rate as the previous year. Residents should not see a noticeable change in their property tax bills for homesteaded properties. Haralson County, we're proposing an increase of 1.047 mills to 3.241 mills. That is a 328.7% increase based off the rollback rate. The calculation is determined by subtracting the county's sales tax revenue from the gross millage rate and dividing cost equally among all property owners. It is a noticeable increase, but still results in a much lower rate than many comparable Georgia cities and is needed for long-term services and sustainability. So this is your impact on property tax. So for Carroll County, based on the 2025 proposed rate, you would see a $0 increase, assuming that your property value remained the same. For Haralson County, you would see an increase of $241.34, assuming that your property value remained the same. This slide has some information on House Bill 581. It's there for your information, and we will leave it at that. I'm not an attorney, so I won't dive into the specifics of the bill, but you should know that it mainly has effect for homesteaded properties. So. These are your notices of property tax increase that went, this one was advertised at the Times-Georgian on August 9th and August 16th, and the Gateway Beacon on August 14th. And this one was distributed to the Times-Georgian, Gateway Beacon, Star News, Graddick Communications, Carroll County Chamber of Commerce, and posted on City of Temple website and City Hall building. This slide will give you some information for both Temple, Carroll County, and Haralson properties, and millage rates assessed in other municipalities and the county going back the last 20 plus years. And with that, that concludes the 2025 millage rate public hearing. Thank you for attending. For more information, visit www.templega.us. We will open the floor to public comments. Not seeing anybody for public comments. So with that, we will end our public hearing and we will reconvene at 12 o'clock. Thank you.